English by birth. Received his green card in 2023. Shot 6 times on his 21st birthday. Welcome to Bespoke Folks and Tales, where we combine the entertainment of storytelling with the fun of trivia. We tell trivia stories inside out. Do you know who I'm talking about? Let's go. The Cirrus SR-20 pulled through the air at a comfortable 180 mph. At 10,000 feet, he felt he could get perspective of the world around him. Gone were the gritty, dirty streets of Atlanta's roughest neighborhoods. Gone were the shootings, the stabbings, the drug dealings, and the madness. Up here, there was only clear air and sunshine. The plane could just about fly itself, and the dull drone of the propellers lulled him into a relaxed state. Yes, from up here it's easy to see that I'm greater than I was, he thought. Looking out nearly 140 miles in any direction, he mused to himself. I feel like I've been through more than the average 25-year-old. All I gotta do is keep doing what I'm doing and keep getting better. With his head literally in the clouds, he reflected on another flight 18 years prior. He'd been 7 years at the time relocating from a rough neighborhood in London, England, to a rough neighborhood in Atlanta, Georgia. The accent was different, but working class is still working class. The problems stay the same. For a long time, he'd just been angry. Angry that his parents weren't together. Angry that they didn't have nicer things. Angry about being angry and just not really caring what happened next. It wasn't hard to find the wrong crowd, and the life they offered seemed a better option than trying to grind it out in school. He was in 7th grade when he was put on probation for gun possession. The following year, he'd be banned from every school in DeKalb County for violating his probation. He attended a juvenile detention center, but by the time he'd hit high school, he knew he wouldn't graduate. Instead, he'd spend his days being a regular gangbanger. He never apologized for his lifestyle. Yeah, he'd sold drugs, robbed people, and hijacked cars. But that was survival. He did what he thought he had to do. It was the death of a friend on his 21st birthday that shook him. He'd also been shot 6 times in the incident. That could have been me so easily. On another day, it probably would have been him. It wasn't long after that his friend's uncle started paying for his studio time. It was cathartic. Everything that had been rattling around his head now had an outlet. He soon began getting attention for his blunt lyrics and menacing persona. These new friends opened him up to a whole new world. Sure, they showed him the ropes of the music industry. He'd won Grammys and Beat Awards, but it was more than that. It was like all of a sudden someone picked him wholly up off the street and showed him the world at a 10,000-foot level. These guys understood struggle and survival, but they also showed him a world above that struggle. He could see the world at a higher level of abstraction now. His struggles weren't just his struggles. There were a lot of people with his struggles, and he was determined to try to help if he could. It was how to help these people that he mused about now. He had reached a point where he could financially help. Not that enough was ever enough, but that would be amusing for another day. No, for today he would just think about what he'd tell his younger self. Not that he would have listened much, but learning how to handle his finances better would have helped. Instead of carrying a wad of cash, simply having a bank account could have saved him so much hassle. Finishing school would have opened up other doors. By the time he finished his first solo flight that day, he was committed to giving back. He'd donate his time, money, and resources to promoting financial literacy, especially with teens. He'd empower youth in disadvantaged communities with scholarships and through mentorship programs. He organized back-to-school drives to make sure there were enough supplies for kids. He'd also use his platform to raise awareness about gun violence, criminal justice reform, and social justice. All those things he might have scoffed at only a handful of years ago. He now had enough perspective and resources to try to help shape. He attacked these issues like he attacked anything, savagely. Shea bin Abraham Joseph, 21 Savage. A man that was hardened and educated by the street and doesn't apologize for it. He is now the champion to so many that walk in his former footsteps. At what point did you know who I was talking about? Drop me a comment below if you knew it was 21 Savage, and I'll see you next time on Bespoke Folks and Tales. If you like that story, you'll love this one. Check it out.